Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NWFL edition of Nightmares All Access. Well, my guest today is the head owner of the Oklahoma Lightning, Miss Carly Duffy. Say hi to the folks, Carly. All right. I think one of our fans want to know is how long have you been playing football? Ah. And I, and I'm thinking, and since we got a game against each other soon before they end, so my question to you is how often would a player have to we have to sub a player when one of your main players, let's just say, can't play anymore because the injuries are too much to handle. Mm. Sorry about that. I'm a little close. Luther, you got a question? Mm. Now, here's my question to you. I mean, what is your take on this league being the first league in history to play nine-man football, or nine-woman, as the case may be? Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Now, I this is the first time I'm actually talking to you, but for our fans who don't know about you, what are a few things they don't know about you? Mm. Yeah. Yeah. now, now there's like a saying going around that they say that girls should not play football. Do you believe that? Mm. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. My mother tells me all the time, I'm not a girly girl, and it shows. Cause I'm the youngest daughter, and I still play video games and like sports for a living. Heck, I'm almost 40 years old, and I still play video games. But then again, you ain't met my mother. She has no filter. If you met my mother, believe me, she'll talk about a bad somebody to their face. And that's I say she's gonna say it to hurt their feelings. She's telling you nicely to your face. She just flat out don't like it. And many a times, my mother has a good reason to tell anybody that I dated why she don't like them. And I bet most fans are going to be excited to see what women's football is all about. So, from your standpoint, what are most of your fans in Oklahoma looking forward to? Uh, True words had never been spoken. And I think 9 times out of 10, Sean has figured out the transportation, the mileage issue. Cause in our game against him, he don't took off 1 hour. We're playing against them in Eudora, Kansas, and the closest town that has a hotel is a place called DeSoto. I heard, and basically from here on out, we will like just cut a rug most of the time. Basically about silly town names, silly team names, and the other stuff. And if you listen to our last several pods, we even cracked up about the worst hotels on the planet to stay in. And half the time, we don't want to bring it up. Because half the time, they're funny, and some of the times they're super disgusting, we don't want to repeat it. Ever. I think the last one still left a bad taste in our mouth. And I wonder why. And this is from reviews from people who were staying at these hotels. These were people staying at these hotels, giving these hotels ones and twos and zeros. Yeah, not a one, a half of a point. Because I think the last time we talked about one of the worst hotels to sit in, I think we talked about one hotel that was steal the tires off your car and leave it on a couple of cinder blocks. Yeah, if you go to that hotel, you can wake up and find your car tires gone. It's sitting on cinder blocks. Okay, what's expected from what you can expect from the Nightmares being one of the teams in this league? You can expect us to do a little running, a little bit of smash and dash, but not a lot of smash and dash because we don't want to hurt nobody. Just overall having a good time doing what we do. Because at the end of the day, we're still ordinary people on and off the field. And that's true, because I believe in other women's football leagues, you see them playing smash style football. And don't care about either their health or their well being. And and as what Lisa was telling me, what happened between her team and the WFA, it didn't come as a surprise to me. Because the WFA was supposed to be like the epitome of equality in women's football. Right now, they still harbor some resentment towards the San Diego Surge and the Racine Machine. The Racine Machine, because one of their players is a trans woman. And San Diego, because they seem to think that she's was taking like estrogen pills, thinking that she was a man. Basically, right now, if you're playing in the WFA, it's going to leave a sour taste in your mouth now. But it ain't nothing worse compared to the LFL. That still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It makes me want to grind my teeth every time I say this man's name. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this league is run by a guy who rewards bad behavior. Now, when you hear a commissioner of a league rewarding bad behavior for doing something wrong that shouldn't be done, it'll make you mad. This man has done this on a regular basis, and it's making me mad. Yeah. And and most people, they say they got several ways to prepare for a game. As an owner of a team and a player yourself, what is your way of preparing for a game? Like any game day rituals. Mm. Um, that that sounds true because don't like if I'm preparing, I would have my phone and have the music player on my phone while I stretch. I'm even doing a little bit of yoga before game day, like stretching my muscles and relaxing my mind. Make sure it's cleared for the task at hand. Uh, uh, yeah, and I'm guessing this is like another personal type question. Like many people want to know more like what you like to do on your downtime when you're not playing football. They want to know what do you do besides play football? Like, what's your day job? Ah, shoot. And me personally, I work at one of the largest retail companies in the country, and that's Macy's. Yeah, I mean I've been working there for almost 2 years, and I almost love it. I will say I almost love every minute of it, but then again, I'll be lying about it. Saying I don't want to quit that job most of the time, because believe me, I got people calling the store that I work at with the most ridiculous of requests, and some that's all off topic and off the wall. I have no answer. I have no answer. Mhm. Whew. Um, so when this is going to be a little, well, in this segment we're going to play a little rapid fire answer. I will give you, well, I'm going to say two options. You can choose either or, like scary movies or rom coms. And for me, hands down, it's scary movies because I can see a jump scare in a movie coming a mile away. Just don't ask me about video game jump scares because Luther will laugh at me. Luther will laugh at me even if I tell you this. Because he laughed at me when I said this. And he still does. Every time something happens to me, he will laugh. Yeah, he'll laugh at me when my grandnephew will throw a bottle at my head. He laughs at that. And the last time he laughed at me, and the last time he laughed at me is when my grandnephew hit me with the remote control upside the head. And I told him to stop. He says no. But then again, family is like everything to me. To me, football is a family oriented sport that a whole family can enjoy and not to be ruined. Because lately, I see people saying that women's football is laughable. And for me, that kind of hurts my feelings. Because I want to see this company, I want to see this league grow, I want to see this sport grow. So people will enjoy it. And give doubters a taste of what we can do. Because to me, women's football can be growing up into something great. And Carly, unmute your mic. Carly, unmute your mic. I can hear you now. You had your mic muted. Yeah, you had your mic muted. Just as long as we don't have to travel 12 miles to see each other, I'm good. Just as long as we don't have to go 12 hours just to play a game, because that'd be exhausting. Yes, Ma. Oh, boy. And we're going to have to take a quick break, folks. Give me about 2 minutes and I'll be right back. And we're back, folks. I had to do a little something for my mother. I love my mother, but sometimes she has no filter. Still. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Take it to mommy. Yeah, do it. Don't drink, bro. I ain't saying you be mad. No, not that one. Which one? The Lexus. Oh, I seen that. That's the granny bra. Oh, she done said one. I'm gonna take that one to her. No, I gotta put it.
Yeah.
Take it to her. She gonna drag it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I forgot one shoe.
Okay. Yeah. that kind of comes into mind when it comes to women's football. Like, basically, most people will think that our league is in the same league with the LFL, except for the equipment. So they want to do so I want to basically do a comparison. The difference between our equipment and the equipment of the LFL, starting with the helmet. Now, many people seem to think that a hockey helmet in a women's LFL league is going to keep their head from getting busted wide open. Better than a football helmet, but I've seen many tests done on equipment like this, and it don't even stand up to par against the helmet. So, my question is, would you rather play in a league that has a hockey helmet for a football helmet, or play in an actual league where a football helmet is a football helmet?
Mama, put your knee in my back and pull my arm. Come on. No, put your knee in my back and pull my arm.
Hold up, folks.
Mama, your knee, not your foot.
My foot's clean, stupid.
But your knee, Mama, your knee's not working better. Mama, you're not even on my back. You're on my butt. You not, Mama. Mama, just use your knee.
I can't lift my knee.
Mama, you're not even doing it right.
I can't lift my knee.
Mommy.
Girl, I can. Girls,
come on.
I cannot lift my knee anymore, TJ.
Oh my God.
Lord Jesus. Give me a second, folks. I gotta pop my daughter's back out.
Mama.
And folks, what you hear now is the sound of a 17-year-old girl crying.
Mama.
I can't. This is how high my knees go. You gotta scoop up. There you go. Jesus Christ.
You not even. I need to tell him she can do it.
Yeah, you're gonna need her, and you're gonna need a can of food and roll it on your back. Jeez Louise. That girl bigger than I am. I keep up her big no more. Because even that would hurt me. Jeez Louise. Well, oh man. Excuse me, folks. Sure. Waiting for a little we can, well, now this is more of a what if question. If you were on another team, what position would best suit you and why?
I don't know. I feel like being quarterback suited me because I'm kind of the take charge leader of the group always. I've always kind of been that way, and people naturally just kind of follow me. I don't want them to. They just kind of, and I'm really good at once the team's down, I get them back up. So I think that kind of suited me once I got thrown into that position. That was my very first year that their quarterback got hurt, and lost in that position.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
Now.
Carly, I think, was telling me, like, she was telling me that she never got the opportunity to do much out of them because the coach basically told her that's supposed to go to one side, one person. But she fought from time to time.
Yeah, it was really frustrating to do that because, I mean, I have an arm and I can get it right where it needs to go almost every single time. And so my players do that. So we goof off and practice and stuff, and we didn't have to do that every single time it was there. And we played in Kansas City. Actually, Sean was the coach, I believe, and that was the only game was the entire game. And they could
If you were in practice, do you still cut a fastball loose from time to time to show them that you still have an arm?
I do sometimes, yeah. I actually put pads on the other night, and my wife was like, "What are you doing?"
Yes.
I just need to do this real quick, and I did it. And I took Becca, the QB, out completely. The other girls were like, "Oh," because I kept telling them, like, run through her, and they're like not understanding. All the new girls, they were not understanding what I was saying.
Oh, see, I know the hit you're talking about. You're talking about a woo hit.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Lighting somebody up.
Yeah, and then it's never understand. Like once they make contact, they kind of stop, you know. And I was like, no, you gotta run through them. Like, keep going. You can't keep going. You did it. Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. It's like basically a bull run drill.
Yes.
It's basically a bull run drill.
Yeah.
But because I remember NFL back in the 80s when it was San Francisco. Ronnie Lott would always talk about a woo hit because he'd always talk about it. You know, his secondary coaches, they do. We want to start the game off right. We want to give them a hit that they remember us by. So basically, it's like one of those hits. You want to make sure the other team is remembering all night long.
Yes. Now these days in the NFL, a hit like that could get you fined and suspended.
Yep. College game nowadays. Okay, I'm glad we brought this up because I want to get your thought on. Do you think that? Because I know we talked about it with what we had with the penalties and stuff in the NWFL. We're kind of doing college-ish type rules in a roundabout way, a little bit. Do you think hit on a player being suspended for a particular game, or do you think all those hits you just automatically go under one umbrella, no questions asked, in your own humble opinion? Because I'm still kind of conflicted, but I can understand why.
I think it should be the type of hit and the intention behind the hit. I mean, you can understand the intention behind the hit very clearly, no matter what. Everybody's like, oh, you don't know that she meant to that maliciously. Yes, you do. I mean, you can 100% tell if the ball is not. I mean, if that player is out of the play completely and someone lights her up for no reason, that was a malicious contact.
That's a dumb hit.
Yes, very much. We played the Oklahoma City Force, and the ball was dead. I mean, there's nothing going on. I was walking back to the sidelines, and that was during the championship game. And number 23, I'll never forget. She lit me up. My feet come off the ground, knocked me out. My ears were bleeding. I got hit so hard, and nothing was done. Nothing was done. So
no penalty, no flag, no nothing.
Nothing. And I got carried off the field. Yeah, my left ear was bleeding, and I got carried off the field. But that was it, and I couldn't play the rest of the game. But they needed to fade me out because I didn't back up.
I remember there was a play with the Misfits in a playoff game. One player literally got taken out, her knee got taken out, one player's head got donked off the fence. They only had to stop the game. And here's another thing I was wondering that really kind of baffled me a bit is I only had one ambulance and literally had to get that one ambulance had to come back twice. And I'm thinking to myself, how is it that you're playing in a playoff game and there's only one ambulance service that has to come back and get two players? That didn't make sense to me.
I think half the unit's ambulance service is on my team. So I've got 3 people that work for life here when the ambulance is here that are on my team. So,
well, that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they're the ones that get hurt, then we're in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, pick up from here. Sorry, I mean I've gone through 50 million questions here.
All right.
I know I've got a few more. But I felt like I had to carry it for a while you were taking care of some other stuff. So
yeah. So here's the thing. Like he brought up earlier about the illegal hits and the bending of the rules that the WFA had enforced that got bent like a lot of times, especially when it's pertaining to cleats. Now I know the WFA and the NWFL will be in agreement that no metal cleats should be worn at all.
Thank you.
Because it hurts.
Because if I remember right, if the game that I was telling you about, that one of the players from the opposing team had metal cleats on.
Yeah. And it was during the Music City, Arkansas game.
Yep, it was a playoff game.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the game that I was at was not the Arkansas game. I think it was like the Kentucky game that went to overtime. One player kind of got banged into the fence, and basically nobody stopped the game while she was writhing in pain after banging her head off the fence off of a tackle. And I'm like, how?
I wish it surprised me, but it doesn't.
No, it does. I mean, I wasn't stunned by it, but I was kind of, how can I say it, annoyed. I mean, I didn't have a spotter for that game, but I could tell something was amiss because it was a long stoppage. I think it was almost an hour, and the game was in overtime. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, why are they not doing anything? Like, what's the holdup?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're waiting for an ambulance. And like, what?
If a team has to take out one player to win the game, then your team doesn't deserve that win. If one player
they didn't take out one player, they took out two.
Two?
Yeah.
I know one with a knee and another with a concussion.
Yeah, that game I got taken out of, their literal thought was take me out and stick them. And I'm my thoughts were, I'm the only reason that we want to do it is that many, you know.
Best game you either played in or actually watched as a fan and thought that was the best game and it was played the right way. Men's or women's football, or it could even be high school. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, the best game you remember watching either as an owner or wait, you haven't watched the game yet because you don't know yet. But either a game you played in or a game you watched, and it was played in the correct way, like the way a game's supposed to be played.
It's very few of those games.
Yes.
Honestly, I don't know. The semifinals, my junior year of high school for basketball, I felt that was the cleanest basketball game I've ever played in. The officials were not biased either way. They were very fair on both sides. They were technical on both sides. This semifinals, that was probably the best game I played in that I thought was called good both ways. They didn't allow anything dirty on either side. But they also allowed us to play the game, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love when I can actually hear a broadcast of a game, and the less I have to hear fans booing an official for an interesting call. Maybe it was the right call, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, this game's actually going to be a good one because the way the game should be played, they're letting the players decide it.
Right.
Yep.